So today, Crawford, we're going to be talking about Inspect. Could you just give us a quick overview of what it does?
Yeah, absolutely, Rebecca. So Inspect is, it's essentially a desktop and an associated app. So the desktop version of Inspect allows you to be able to create any form of question template that you can imagine or you can envisage. So inside a property management company, for example, it might be tenant check-ins, tenant check-outs, maybe block management inspections, maybe property management inspections, or it might be something even related to fire. You know, the fire stuff's quite topical just now with the sort of Grenfell thing, the Grenfell investigation stuff all coming there. So essentially, the desktop allows you to be able to build your company hierarchy, create your users and give those users permissions, and create all of your templates. So templates, in my mind, are just questions. And it'll give you the ability to create any form of questions, whether you want to score them, whether you want to answer them just simply yes or no, good or bad, or whether you want to get to the stage where you want to literally put excellent, very good, not very good, poor, very poor. The application is designed to be able to handle all of that. And then on the app side, the app allows you literally to be able to go out on site and either use the app itself online or offline. So you have the ability then to download the templates that have been created on the desktop, go out on site and undertake an inspection. So that inspection could be accompanied by somebody from your residents association, an owner, client or tenant. It could be a contractor you're doing it with or an architect, or it's just one that you're undertaking yourself as part of your commitment in terms of your block management responsibilities. And once you've completed that inspection, you can either email it directly from the app back to your clients as a PDF report, or alternatively, you can upload it onto the desktop, and the desktop itself has a full suite of reports that you can then start to run, nice data analysis around, so how many have we done in the last month? Are we up last month from the month before? Are we scoring quite highly in our inspections and so on and so forth?
Fantastic. So what we'll do now then is take a look at the software and you can show us how all of this works. That'd be great.
Yeah, delighted. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Inspect is a app and desktop product which allows any type of question set to be configured as a template and then used to undertake either inspections or checklists or a series of questions which you could use either for doing things like tenant check-ins, for doing property inspections, or anything more complex. So the product itself has got a desktop version and it also has an app version. On the left-hand side, you have the app, and on the right-hand side, you have an example of what is a desktop dashboard. So each client's dashboard is completely configurable based around their own requirements. For the purpose of this demo, this particular dashboard shows a breakdown of inspects which have been completed over, since the start of 2021. So you see that for this particular client, they did a fabulous month in January where they did 27, and then they've kind of petered along since. On the right-hand side, what you have is you have a list of the top 10 users of Inspect by the number of inspections which have been completed. And then the bottom two sections on this particular dashboard show you the last 6 inspections which have been uploaded to the desktop, and a breakdown of the users which you've registered inside your company, and the number of inspections and their completion rate. The application itself has the ability for you to be able to create templates which are then undertaken on the app. So these templates can you can either make use of the ones which we have listed under our public templates. So for example, if you were to come to property management in here, you've got some examples of inspections which can be done and undertaken through bedrooms, bathrooms, block inspections, grounds, property inspections, or if you look at the property letting section we've got in here, and these are just some examples of some of the stuff that we have in here. Then for property letting, you have the ability to be able to look at similar types of things, but also commercial management and also property inspection templates. So these are some examples that we ship with the application itself, but you also have the ability to be able to create any form of question template from scratch. So for example, this is a list of templates that we have on our system in its entirety. So you've got things as complex as management audits, down to tenant check-ins, CDM checklists, if you're doing any building changes, obviously, to your properties, or your clients are doing that. You can have risk assessment forms built into it, quick office inspections, literally with people coming back out of COVID and some people moving back into more of an office environment. Then you can create really simple or complicated office checklists. And you can probably see here we've got some health and safety checklists, some home working ones, DSE assessments, and then things as complicated, if you like, as gap analysis stuff around excuse me, ISO certification. So the application essentially comes to you with a suite of excuse me, a suite of templates which you can choose to use if you like, or the ability for you to be able to create a question set in its entirety from scratch. So that could be just very simple yes/no questions. It can be scoring question responses. So 1 to 5, 1 to 10, good, bad, very good, so on and so forth. You can create any of those types of questions inside Inspect itself. Once the templates have been created, you can then download the app. So the app is the image on the left-hand side. And once you have the app installed, you simply synchronize the app to your desktop. And at that point, any templates which have been created for your company will then come down and be visible on your app itself. So for this particular one, you can see it's logged in as me. The app knows that the last inspection that I did was the property management inspection checklist, so it's offering that to me. If you've also got your localized settings switched on the app, it'll pick up where you are. And if you've been to a block or a development before, it'll also offer you that block or development at the top of the page. If not, and you want to start a new inspection from scratch, you literally just click, excuse me, to start a new inspection. It will download all of your developments. And you can see here, it does give you the option to look at only the developments you manage. So if you're set up as a property manager, it'll link to those developments. Or if you're about to cease or have ceased managing a particular development, then you have the ability just to toggle this on and off, so it will show you your ceased developments. If you wish to make no link between a particular development and the inspection that you're undertaking, then you have the ability just quite simply to click on skip, and then that will give you a list of all of the inspection templates which your company has created on the desktop on this side. They'll then be available for you on the app, and literally you can select whichever one that you would like to undertake and walk your way through it. So if, for example, I was to select the property management inspection checklist, I can give it a name. So I can just call it June 21. The option to give it a reference is completely optional. So if I ignore that for the purpose of this and I click on continue, what Inspect does is it goes away, and in the background, all of the questions and the information that you have recorded in this particular template, it then loads up for you. And because I'm using this for the first time, it's quite simply asked me whether or not I want to use the app to be able to take photographs. Once you've done that, you can then simply walk around the property or the development, or if it's something that you're doing inside your office, you can take the app with you. It works offline as well as online, so you can download all of the question sets when you've got a Wi-Fi connection, and then undertake the actual questions themselves when excuse me, when you're out of the office. And then each of these here are section headings, and if you click on any of them, then it will take you through to the relevant questions. So for this particular one, if I click on the entrance hall, this is a really simple question set where the responses for these particular questions are good, fair and poor. You can flag questions so that on the PDF output report that you get at the end of it, those flagged questions can be emailed directly because they're pulled together collectively. They can be emailed directly to, say, a residents association or a contractor for somebody to deal with. Or if you were accompanied on a particular inspection, they can be emailed directly to the persons concerned. Anywhere you see the paperclip, you have the ability to be able to add images or documents directly to the question, and those images or documents will appear on the finalised reports. If you've got a little clock face on here, that quite simply means that you've answered the question before using this particular template, and if you wish to use the answer again, you simply click on that and it'll bring up a list of all of your previous answers with the dates that those answers were undertaken. For the purposes of the demo, I just quite simply wanted to give you a bit of an idea as to how simple it is. Once you're in the app, you can click on good, you can click on fair for a different question, and for the windows in this particular example, I'll say they're poor. The colours for the responses to the questions you can pick yourself. You could also choose, if you wish to be able to score these or not. The colours are not mandatory. The colours are simply there as an add-on if you wish to give a visual representation to people, and then those colours and responses will then be shown on the PDF report at the end once the inspect has been completed. So literally all you have based around the number of questions and the number of sections that you have created for this particular template, you simply click on whatever your responses are and move through your sections. That's it. The hamburger menu at the top of the page will show you all of the sections, and when a section has been completed, so if, for example, I go back into the entrance hall, excuse me, and I complete the section itself, you'll then see there's a little green tick appears that lets me know that that particular section has been completed. And once the section itself has been completed here, it's marked on the left-hand side. At the end, when the inspection has been finished, this inspect not complete will then be visible. You click on it and you electronically sign it on screen. At that point, once you are finished, you then have the ability to, yes I do, once you're finished, you then quite simply have the ability to be able to synchronize your inspections. Those inspections will move from the app, if you choose to, onto the desktop. And on the desktop, you will then view, excuse me, you'll then have the ability to view all of the inspections which you have synchronized and completed. At that stage, you can then generate PDF reports for them, which can either go directly to your clients, or they can be stored on the application on the desktop side of Inspect. Or alternatively, if you choose to, under the View Reports section on the app, once you load your completed inspects, then you have the ability to email those as PDFs directly to your clients, architects, contractors, or so on and so forth. And you can quite simply just click on the share button, and from there you can email it, as I said, just as required. So you can send it to whoever you choose. Alternatively, if you synchronize your inspections and those inspections then sit on the desktop version of the software, you then have the ability in here to be able to generate the PDF report, and then you have a saved PDF of the product itself. You can make any changes to those questions. So you may have recorded information when you're on site, but when you get back to the office, you might have taken 6 photographs, for example. You can change the photographs that you maybe want to associate to that particular inspection by simply editing it, or as you can see, based around your privileges, you have the ability to delete. Once those inspections have then been completed and have been synchronized from the app, they would then, excuse me, they would then be added to your reports on your dashboard. So in terms of my activity, for example, the one that I just gave you an example of here, if that had been completed and synchronized, simply the number of completed reports for me would then increase from 21 to 22. The most complicated thing about Inspect is the fact that based on the size of your business, you have the ability to be able to create user groups which will give people specific access to see certain templates and, excuse me, see their subordinates, and also have permissions to do certain things. And you also have the ability to be able to create your entire company hierarchy. So whether you're a single operative with one office, or if you happen to be a multinational organization with offices dotted around the world, the hierarchy inside Inspect will give you the ability to be able to create each and every one of those offices and assign individuals inside those offices so they can see inspections or checklists which are specific to their particular country, office or region. That's great. Thank you very much for listening.
That sounds great. So if people wanted to find out more about Inspect and find out, speak to you about it, how can they do that?
Yeah, so they can either contact me directly, crawford.burns@inspect.co.uk. Give me a bell on my mobile. You can probably tell I talk a fair bit. So 07584684726. Or you can just quite simply, access the Inspect website, which is www.inspect.co.uk. And there's a wee chat function on there on the Inspect website. So if you're there and you've got any questions or anything, stick something into the chat, and between 9 and 5 you'll get a response from one of the team just to see if we can help as well.
That's brilliant. Perfect. Thanks ever so much for your time and showing this to us today, Crawford. It's really appreciated.
Thanks. Cheers, Rebecca. Much appreciated.